Hello everyone, it's Drew Bradshaw here, and today we're going to talk about how to diagram compound subjects, or another way to say it, compound simple subjects. Compound subjects are two or more nouns or pronouns that are diagrammed in the order that they appear in the sentence, and they're diagrammed one above each other. There's a coordinating conjunction such as and, but, or nor that join them together on a vertical dotted line. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take a look at this one here. It says Wyatt and Larissa are best friends. We always ask ourselves, who or what is this about? Well, we know it's about Wyatt, and it's about Larissa. So now I have two simple subjects. So I like to notate this as simple subject sub 1 and simple subject sub 2. What do they do? Well, there's a linking verb here, so they exist. They exist as what? Friends. Friends here is a predicate nominative. It renames the simple subjects Wyatt and Larissa. What kind of friends? Best friends. And then we have a conjunction here, and conjunctions can only pair up two things that function equally grammatically. In this case, that's two simple subjects. So now we've broken down the sentence. I like how they diagrammed this sentence. You can look at our sentence base. Our sentence base follows this line here. So instead of one flat line, we have a split line. So our sentence base is Wyatt, Larissa are friends. Notice how the conjunction and is on a dotted line inside the triangle, and it's written on the dotted line, okay? You might have to turn your paper sideways. That's fine. And then, of course, our modifier line down here. One thing I want to highlight for you is that the two simple subject lines are equal in length. Again, you don't have to draw a line connecting them. That's not necessary. I'm just trying to show you that even though Larissa has a longer name in terms of how many letters, the lines are the same length, okay? Also, it's nice that the editors have put in this line that splits the subject and the predicate like we're used to, but my preference is that that line actually comes a little bit over this way. And again, I don't want to cut off R, but the goal is that the triangular shape, I'll draw one down below, has a little bit of the flat line before we split it. That will come to be important in certain situations. Here is another sample problem. It says Jonah, Sarah, or Mariah ate my hamburger. Who or what is this about? Well, it's about Jonah, it's about Sarah, or it's about Mariah. Three simple subjects, so simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2, simple subject sub 3. What did they do? They ate, simple predicate. Ate what? Direct object. Which kind of hamburger? Mine. Or is a conjunction. It's going to connect three things in this case. 1, 2, 3. And all of them are same grammatically. Simple subject, simple subject, simple subject. Notice that they are lined up in the order that they appear in the sentence. Okay? This diagram looks pretty good. Again, that simple subject, simple predicate dividing line, I would move that over a little bit so that we could still see the flat line. We'll see that later on. The sentences in 1A and 1B are correct, but the diagrams are incorrect. So first, let's break down the sentence. Mom or dad will call you. Who or what is it about? Well, it's about mom. It's about dad. So we have SS sub 1, SS sub 2. What will they do? They will call. Again, will is a modal. It's a helping verb, so it goes together. It functions as the simple predicate. Will call who or what? Oh, they'll call you, direct object, or connects mom and dad. Now the diagram over here is messed up. They know that mom or dad are somehow the simple subject, because they have it to the left of that line. We know that or connects them, but a conjunction is always on a dotted line, so we know that was wrong. The will call and you look correct. So let's diagram this correctly down below. Simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2, conjunction, split our subject and our predicate, simple predicate, direct object. Here we go. Mom, dad, or will call you. And 1B, Curtis and Kaylee are twins. Who or what is this about? Curtis, Kaylee, simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2. Are is our simple predicate. It's a linking verb, and so with a linking verb, that means we're either going to have a predicate nominative or predicate adjective. In this case, we have predicate nominative because twins renames Curtis and Kaylee. It doesn't describe them, it renames them. And if I really want to test it out, I could flip-flop it. I could say the twins are Curtis and Kaylee, or Curtis and Kaylee are twins. And then and connects those. There's two things wrong on this particular diagram. The first is they're forgetting the dotted line to close this triangle out. And the second is they need to rotate and around. And needs to be written on the dotted line. It's correct that it's inside the triangle, but it's incorrect because it wasn't on the dotted line. So let's draw our sentence diagram. Again, I like to have my split between subject and predicate a little bit after the triangle joins the line. And we need our backslash there because we have a predicate nominative that points back towards our simple subjects. And then remember, they made their mistake with and. It should go in here. 2A, 2B, and 2C are all fill in the blanks. You should be able to do these. I'll help you break down the sentences, but you need to be able to diagram them. So we have Cinderella and Snow White sing beautifully. We ask who or what is this about? It's about Cinderella. Is it about anybody else? Yes. It's about Snow White. Snow White functions together as a simple subject, two simple subjects. So we have simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2. What do? They sing. What do they sing? We don't know. They could be singing hymns. They could be singing pop music. We don't know what they sing. How do they sing? Oh yeah, how do they sing? They sing beautifully. So beautifully modify sing and connect simple subject and simple subject. And so if you need to lengthen this one to fit beautifully on it, you can. 2B, Grace and Elias, or Grace or Elias rather, ate the bagels. Who or what is this about? It's about Grace. It's about Elias. Simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2. What did they do? They ate. What did they eat? Bagels. Which bagels? The bagels. And then or connects two simple subjects. This one should be easy for you to fill in the blank. 2C, Jimmy and Joey watch movies in the basement. Who or what is this about? It's about Jimmy. And it's about Joey. Simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2, and connects those. What did they do? They watch, SP. Watch what? Movies, DO. Now we're left with this phrase over here. This phrase over here in the basement is a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase always starts with a preposition, ends with the object of the preposition, includes any words in between, never includes a verb, and always answers the question of time or space. In the basement, is that a time or a space? It's a space, the space of the basement. Are the movies in the basement? Well, maybe, but what's actually happening in the basement, that's where we're going to watch them. Watch will happen in the basement. So remember, Jimmy, Joey, and watch movies in the preposition, remember, always goes on the modifier line. Basement, object of the preposition always goes on the flat parallel line, and then the modifier, the. Okay, I'm expecting you to be able to fill that out correctly. I just wrote the shortcuts of where the words go. For 3A, 3B, and 3C, I need you to make sure you come up with an original sentence that fits the diagram without modifying the diagram, without making any changes to it, and then write your sentence on the line and break it down. Sometimes it's helpful if you are unsure of what you need to just take small little notes that you erase after the fact. So you know this is going to be an SS1, this is going to be SS2. You know you have a conjunction right here. You know that this direct object line means this is a DO, and since that's a DO, it means that your simple predicate, SP, needs to be some action verb that is doing an action to something else. Okay, if you can take those notes, that will help you fill in the blanks up here of what you need. It could be and, it could be or. But it doesn't look like there's any modifiers in this one. So you could come up with a sentence that just fills in the blanks. Drew and Nicole own pets. That would work for something like this. I expect you to come up with your own answer here. On 3B, again, if you need to take some notes and then erase them after the fact, you can. You can know that this needs two simple subjects connected with a conjunction. You see this one that's a backslash right here, so you know this is either going to be PA or it's going to be PN, and I usually like to capitalize those. I don't know why I wrote them lowercase. So predicate adjective or predicate nominative, which means our simple predicate must be a linking verb, is, was, were, are, etc. Something like that. And so you need to come up with something that will fit that. Here's 3C. I want to show you something real quick. This middle one right here, see how it stops on the dotted line? Sometimes students mistakenly draw it all the way in like this. No, the line stops at the dotted line, so make sure yours does that. Okay, how many simple subjects do you need on this one? Then you have a simple predicate, and then look at this line right here. What does that mean? Is that direct object? Is that predicate nominative? Or is that predicate adjective? And then you have one modifier line that goes over here. So think about how you'll do that. Please remember that anytime you have adjectives that modify the nouns or pronouns that serve as the subjects, they're diagrammed on the lines below the word they're modifying. Another way to say that would be if the simple subject has a modifier, make sure to put the modifier below the word that it describes. So let's take a look at this sentence. The old dog and the young cat are best friends. Who or what is this about? Well, it's about dog and it's about cat. Simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2. What do? Well, they exist as, so that's a linking verb are. Exist as what? Friends. Predicate nominative. What kind of friends? Best friends. What kind of cat? Young cat. Which cat? The cat. What kind of dog? Old dog. Which kind of dog? The dog. What does and connect? Some students say that it connects the and cat, but I'm going to show you down below a way you can find out if that's right. It's actually not right. It connects the old dog and the young cat. This and this are connected by and, okay? And we'll talk about later the idea of parallel structure, where conjunction can only combine things that have parallel structure in order to be standard American English norms. But as native English speakers, if we understand the sentence meaning, we rarely can figure out that it has unparalleled structure. So an unparalleled structure would be like the old dog and cat are friends. That's not parallel. Here's what I mean. It has a simple subject and it has two modifiers. Over here, simple subject and two modifiers. Now that's parallel structure. Okay, so this is diagrammed correctly. Sometimes when you have to write these, you need to make sure that your lines are pretty far spread apart so that you can fit in your modifiers down here and they don't go on top of whatever your simple subject sub 2 is. Okay. Number 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4D are all correct sentences that you need to break down and you need to diagram. I will help you out with 4C. Here is 4C. It says, striped kittens and spotted puppies are my favorites. Who or what is this about? Kittens, puppies. So we have simple subject sub 1, simple subject sub 2. What do? Well, they exist as. They are. That's a linking verb. They are what? My favorites. They're my favorites. This is predicate nominative. I can flip-flop them and flip-flop the whole sentence and it'll make sense. My favorites are striped kittens and spotted puppies. Yep. So it's not my favorite puppy and my favorite kitten. It's replacing them. It's renaming them. That's why it's predicate nominative versus a predicate adjective. Spotted puppies, striped kittens, and has a simple subject and a modifier, a simple subject and a modifier. Now I've broken down the sentence. Let's go ahead and write this out. Okay, so I have the complete predicate written. I'm going to put and on the line here. Kittens goes up top. Puppies goes down below. Then I have striped, and it's a capital S because it started my sentence. And then I have spotted. And I'm sure that you have a little more space on your paper that you can write that without covering up 4D. Go ahead and explore the language a little bit, and if you have any questions, just ask.